The baby's first cry split the night air. Is it? Chief Okonkwo's voice trembled. The midwife lifted the child and her face went pale. A son, my chief. You have a son. Chief Okonkwo fell to his knees, arms raised to the sky. Chukwu, God Almighty, after 5 daughters, you have finally heard me. Cut to 6 months later. Same chief, different man. Chief Okonkwo sat in his bedroom, doors locked, windows barred, hands trembling as he clutched his prayer beads. Please, he whispered to the darkness, make him stop. I'll give anything, just make him stop talking. From the courtyard outside, a child's voice, clear, cold, impossible for a 6-month-old baby. Papa is afraid. Papa wishes I was never born. Chief Okonkwo pressed his hands over his ears and wept. 5 daughters, Okonkwo. 5. Chief Okonkwo's father, Elder Obi, slammed his walking stick on the compound floor. The sound echoed like a judgment. What will happen to our family name? Who will inherit? Who will pour? Libation for your spirit when you die? Chief Okonkwo said nothing. What could he say? His father was right. He loved his daughters. Amara, Chidera, Ngozi, Ifeoma, and little Chiamaka, each one beautiful, intelligent, dutiful. But in Umoba village, daughters married and left. Daughters took their husbands' names. Daughters couldn't inherit a chief's throne. Sons did. And Chief Okonkwo had none. His wife Adana stood in the doorway of their bedroom, listening. When Elder Obi finally left, muttering curses, she entered slowly. My husband. Don't. His voice was sharper than he intended. Just don't. It's not my fault. Her voice broke. I didn't choose to give birth to only girls. Chukwu gives what he wills. Then maybe. Okonkwo said, turning to face her. Chukwu wills that I marry another wife. The words hung in the air like smoke. Adana's face crumbled. You would do that after 15 years? What choice do I have? He wasn't shouting. That made it worse. The elders meet every week. They whisper that I'm cursed, that our lineage will die. Your own mother told me last month to find a younger wife. My mother, Adana's breath caught. My mother said that? Everyone is saying it's Adana. Everyone. She stared at him for a long moment. Then she nodded slowly. Then marry her. Marry whoever you want. But know this. Okonkwo. Her voice was quiet, deadly calm. Whatever you plant with desperation, you will harvest with tears. She left. Okonkwo told himself she was just hurt. She'd understand eventually. He had no idea how right she was. Chisom arrived 3 months later. She was 23. Beautiful, university educated, from a good family. And she was nothing like Adana. I will give you sons, she told Chief Okonkwo on the wedding night. Many sons. That's why I'm here. No love, no pretense, just business. Okonkwo told himself that was fine. He didn't need love. He needed an heir. Adana moved to the west wing of the compound with her daughters. Chisom took the east wing. They never spoke. The village watched and whispered. That's Adana. Shame. After all those years replaced. What did she expect? 5 daughters and no son? But Chisom is too proud. You watch. Pride comes before destruction. But Chisom didn't care about village gossip. She had one job, and 4 months later, she was pregnant. Chisom arrived 3 months later. She was 23, beautiful, university educated, from a good family, and she was nothing like Adana. I will give you sons, she told Chief Okonkwo on their wedding night. Many sons. That's why I'm here. No love, no pretense, just business. Okonkwo told himself that was fine. He didn't need love. He needed an heir. Adana moved to the west wing of the compound with her daughters. Chisom took the east wing. They never spoke. The village watched and whispered. That's Adana, shame. After all those years replaced. What did she expect? 5 daughters and no son? But Chisom is too proud. You watch. Pride comes before destruction. But Chisom didn't care about village gossip. She had one job, and 4 months later, she was pregnant. The labor lasted 14 hours. Chief Okonkwo paced outside the delivery room. A private clinic in the city, not the village midwife this time. He'd spared no expense. Elder Obi sat on a plastic chair, waiting, silent, judging. If it's another girl, the old man started, it won't be. You said that with Adana 5 times. Okonkwo said nothing. Then finally the door opened. The midwife stepped out, and her face was unreadable. Chief Okonkwo, his heart stopped. You have a son. The world tilted. A son? Yes, sir. A healthy baby boy. Okonkwo grabbed the doorframe to steady himself. Then he laughed. A wild, relieved, desperate laugh. A son. Chukwu, you have answered. A son. He burst into the room. Chisom lay on the bed, exhausted, triumphant, and in her arms, small, perfect, eyes closed. Breathing softly. A son. His son. What will you name him? The midwife asked. Okonkwo didn't hesitate. Chokwebuka. God is great. He lifted the baby carefully, tears streaming down his face. You are my heir, my pride, my answered prayer. The baby's eyes opened, and for just a moment, so brief Okonkwo almost missed it, those eyes seemed to look right through him, not at him, through him. The midwife shivered. He has very intense eyes. He's perfect, Okonkwo said. But later that night, alone in his room, he couldn't shake the feeling. Those eyes, like they'd seen something. Something he couldn't. The baby didn't cry much. That should have been a blessing. But it felt wrong. Most newborns cried for milk, for warmth, for attention. Chukwebuka just watched. At 2 months old, his eyes followed people around the room. Not the vague infant stare. Sharp, focused, knowing. He's very alert, the nurse said during a checkup. Is that normal? Chisom asked. Some babies develop faster than others. But at 4 months, something stranger happened. Adana came to visit. She'd kept her distance since the birth, but her daughters begged her to see their new brother. She stood at the doorway of Chisom's room, looking at the baby in his crib. Chokwebuka turned his head, looked directly at her, and smiled. Not a baby's reflex smile, a knowing smile. He likes you, Chisom said, surprised. But Adana stepped back, hand over her heart. No, she whispered. That child. There's something. What? Adana shook her head. Nothing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have come. She left quickly. That night she couldn't sleep. Those eyes, that smile. She'd seen that look before, in her grandmother's stories, about children who were born knowing, children touched by spirits. She prayed she was wrong. 3 months later, at 6 months old, Chukwebuka spoke his first words. Not mama, not dada. He looked at Chief Okonkwo during breakfast and said, clear as day, Papa has 3 sons he doesn't know about. The woman at the market, the girl in the city, and the housemaid. The room went silent. Chief Okonkwo's spoon clattered to the floor. Chisom stared, and Chukwebuka smiled, that same knowing smile. Papa's secrets are very heavy. Stop. If you're watching without subscribing, you're taking value without giving anything back. This took days to create. Hit that subscribe button, it's free. Drop a comment, gift, or curse. And if you don't subscribe now, don't blame me. When you can't find part 2 later, subscribe now. Back to Chief Okonkwo, whose 6-month-old son just exposed his 3 secret children. The silence lasted 3 heartbeats. Then Chief Okonkwo lunged forward, grabbed the baby from Chisom's arms and shook him. What did you say? What did you say? Okonkwo, stop! He's just a baby, Chisom screamed, pulling Chukwuebuka back. But the child wasn't crying. He was staring at his father with those knowing eyes. Papa is angry because Papa knows I'm telling the truth. Okonkwo stumbled backward, hand over his mouth. This is witchcraft. This child is cursed. He's 6 months old. Chisom's voice cracked. Babies don't talk like this. What's happening? The baby turned to look at her. Mama is afraid. Mama thinks I'm a demon. But I'm not. I just see things. Chisom's arms went limp. The baby nearly slipped. From the doorway, Adana's voice cut through the chaos. I warned you. They all turned. She stood there, arms crossed, face unreadable. I told you, Okonkwo, whatever you plant with desperation, you harvest with tears. You knew? His voice was barely a whisper. You knew this would happen. I didn't know this. She gestured at the child, but I knew something was wrong. Children born from desperation, from pride, from selfish ambition, they never come without a price. Then what do I do? Okonkwo's voice broke. What do I do? Adana looked at the baby. Chukwuebuka looked back and smiled. Take him to Dibia Uzo, Adana said quietly. The spiritualist. If anyone can tell you what this is, it's him. Dibia Uzo's compound sat at the edge of the village, where the forest began to swallow the path. Chief Okonkwo arrived at midnight, alone, carrying Chukwuebuka wrapped in cloth. The spiritualist was waiting, old, thin, eyes like smoke. You came, Dibia Uzo said, not surprised. You knew I would? The spirits told me 3 days ago. A man would come with a child who speaks truth, a child touched by Aikmo, spiritual power. Okonkwo's throat tightened. Can you remove it? Dibia Uzo unwrapped the cloth and looked at Chukwuebuka. The baby looked back. Dibia sees the dead, Chukwuebuka said, clear as day. 7 spirits follow him. 1 is his mother. She wants him to forgive his brother. Dibia Uzo went completely still. What? What did he just say? You heard him. Okonkwo's hands shook. He does this. He says things. True things. Things he shouldn't know. The old man sat down slowly, staring at the child. This is not a curse, he whispered. Then what is it? A gift. A rare, dangerous, uncontrollable gift. Dibia Uzo's voice was heavy. This child is Onye Amuma, a seer. He sees what others cannot. Past, present, future. Secrets, lies, hidden sins. He speaks only truth. Then take it away. Remove it. I cannot. You're a spiritualist. You deal with spirits. This is not a spirit possessing him, Okonkwo. This is him. He was born this way. The gift is woven into his soul. Dibia Uzo looked up. And if you try to remove it, you will kill the child. Okonkwo's world tilted. So he'll be like this forever? Until the spirits decide otherwise. Or, Dibia Uzo paused. Until the gift destroys him. Seers rarely live long, Okonkwo. The weight of knowing everything, seeing everything, it breaks them. Then what do I do? The old man handed the baby back. You pray. You protect him, and you prepare for the chaos he will bring. The chaos came faster than anyone expected. 2 days later, at the village square, Elder Ibi was speaking to a gathering about the upcoming festival. Okonkwo brought Chukwuebuka, hoping things would be normal, hoping the child would stay quiet. He didn't. Elder Ibe stole the festival money. Chukwuebuka said, loud enough for everyone to hear. 300,000 naira. He hid it in his wife's kitchen, under the rice sack. The square went silent. Elder Ibi's face turned grey. What? What nonsense is this child speaking? Check the rice sack, someone whispered. This is madness. I won't. Check it, another voice shouted. Within an hour, they'd found the money. Elder Ibi was dragged before the traditional council, stripped of his title, disgraced, and everyone stared at Chukwuebuka. That child is not normal. He's possessed. No, he's something worse. He knows things. A week later, at a family gathering, disaster struck again. Chizom's younger sister, Uloma, was visiting, pregnant, glowing, talking about her faithful husband. Chukwuebuka, now sitting up and eating mashed yam, looked at her. The baby is not Uncle Chide's, it's Pastor Emeka's. Uloma's spoon clattered to the floor. What did you say? The baby. Pastor Emeka is the father, not Uncle Chidi. The room exploded. How dare you let this demon child speak to my sister like that? Chizom screamed at Okonkwo, but Uloma's face had gone white. I don't... Uloma. Chizom turned slowly. Tell me he's lying. Silence. Then Uloma burst into tears and ran from the room. Chizom stared at Okonkwo, at the child, at the chaos unraveling around her. What have you brought into this house? Word spread like wildfire. Chief Okonkwo's son knows everything. He exposes secrets. Stay away from that child. Within 2 weeks, people stopped visiting the compound. Friends avoided Okonkwo at the market. Elders whispered when he passed. And every day Chukwuebuka spoke. Mama Ade's bitsa. Housemaid at night. Uncle Obi's son didn't pass his exams. He paid someone. That woman smiling at Papa, she poisoned her husband. True. All of it true. Police investigations, arrests, divorces, fights. The village was tearing itself apart. And everyone blamed one person. Chief Okonkwo. You wanted a son so badly one elder spat at him during a meeting. Now look what your son has done. He's destroyed this village's peace. I didn't ask for this. You asked for a son. You got one. Now control him. I can't. Okonkwo's voice broke. I've tried everything. He just says what he sees. Then send him away. The words hung in the air. What? You heard me. That child is a curse on this village. Send him away or we will. That night, Okonkwo sat in his room, head in his hands. Adana entered quietly. They want you to send him away, she said. Not a question. How did you? The whole village knows Okonkwo. They're afraid, and when people are afraid, they become dangerous. He looked up at her. What do I do? She sat beside him. After 15 years of marriage, 5 daughters, a second wife, and all the pain, she still sat beside him. You have 2 choices, she said quietly. Keep your son and lose everything. Your title, your respect, your safety. Or send him away and live with the guilt forever. That's not a choice. It's the only one you have. Silence. Then, from the doorway, a small voice. Papa will choose to send me away. They both turned. Chukwuebuka stood there, 3 years old, eyes too old for his age. Because Papa loves his title more than he loves me. Okonkwo's breath caught. That's not? It's okay, Papa. The child's voice was calm, accepting. I see what happens if I stay. People die, the village burns, you lose everything anyway. Stop talking. I have to go, Papa, I see it. Mama Adana will take me, far away, where my voice can't hurt anyone. Adana's eyes filled with tears. Okonkwo looked at his son. The son he'd prayed for, begged for, married a second wife for. The son he'd wanted more than anything. And realized, too late, that getting exactly what you want is sometimes the cruelest punishment of all. You don't have to do this. Adana stood in the courtyard at dawn, a small bag packed. Chukwuebuka held her hand. Chief Okonkwo couldn't look at them. The elders gave me 3 days, he said, voice hollow. It's been 2. If he's still here tomorrow, I know. Adana's voice was steady, but her eyes were wet. I'll take him to my sister's village. Amaudo. It's far enough that no one will know him. Will you come back? She looked at him for a long moment. Would you want me to? He had no answer. Chisom watched from her window, arms crossed. She hadn't spoken to Okonkwo in 3 days. Not since her sister's secret was exposed. Not since her own family disowned her for bringing that cursed child into their lives. Mama Adana? Chukwuebuka's small voice broke the silence. Yes, my child. Papa is crying inside. He just won't let it show. Adana closed her eyes. I know. And Mama Chisom is pregnant again, but she doesn't know yet. Adana's breath caught. She looked at Okonkwo. He looked at Chisom's window. Chisom stepped back, hand instinctively moving to her stomach. Stop! Okonkwo whispered. Please, just stop talking. Chukwuebuka nodded. Okay, Papa. The village was still asleep when they left. Okonkwo watched from his window until they disappeared down the path. Then he sat on the floor and wept. Before we go any further, if your heart is breaking right now, hit that like button. This is the saddest part, but it gets worse. Comment, come back if you think Chukwuebuka will return, or gone forever if you think this is the end, because what happens next will shock you. The child is gone, but the consequences, they're just beginning. Let's continue. 3 months passed. Chief Okonkwo threw himself into village affairs, trying to rebuild his reputation, but the damage was done. People still whispered, still avoided him, still blamed him for the chaos his son had caused. Your boy destroyed 6 marriages. My brother lost his position because of what that demon said. Our village was peaceful before your son. Chisom grew distant. Her pregnancy progressed, but she barely spoke to Okonkwo. She ate in her room, slept alone, existed in the same house but lived in a different world. And late at night, Okonkwo would lie awake thinking about Chukwuebuka. Was he safe? Was he still speaking truths that destroyed lives? Did he miss his father? The questions ate at him. Then, one evening, a stranger arrived at his compound, tall, well-dressed, driving an expensive car. Chief Okonkwo? Yes, and you are? My name is Mr. Okafor. I'm from the city. I heard stories about your son. Okonkwo's stomach dropped. What about him? That he can see things, know things. Is it true? He's not here anymore. I sent him away. I know. Mr. Okafor smiled. I've been looking for him for 2 months and I found him. What do you want with my son? Mr. Okafor sat down uninvited. I run a consulting business, let's call it, for very wealthy clients, politicians, businessmen, people like me who need to know things before they happen. Okonkwo's blood ran cold. You want to use him. I want to hire him and compensate you very, very generously. He pulled out a checkbook. Name your price, Chief. That boy is worth millions. He's 3 years old. He's a gold mine, and you know it. Mr. Okafor leaned forward. You sent him away to protect yourself, but why waste his gift? Let me take him. Train him. You'll never have to worry about money again. Your title will be restored with the wealth I'll bring you. Get out. Chief, get out. Mr. Okafor stood slowly. Think about it. I'll be back in a week. He left. Okonkwo sat in the silence, shaking. Your title will be restored. Never worry about money again. That boy is worth millions. He pressed his palms to his eyes. Chukwu, what have I done? That night, he dreamed. He was in a marketplace, crowded, loud, and in the center, on a stage, stood Chukwuebuka. Older, maybe 10 years old, chained. Men in suits surrounded him, shouting questions. Who will win the election? Which stock should I buy? Will my wife find out? And Chukwuebuka answered, mechanically, empty eyes, a puppet, a tool. Okonkwo tried to run to him, but his feet wouldn't move. "Papa," Chukwuebuka said, looking directly at him, "you wanted a son. You got one, but you never asked what kind." Okonkwo woke up, gasping. Chisom stood in the doorway. "Bad dream?" Her voice was flat. "Chisom, Mr. Okafor came to me too." His heart stopped. "What?" "He offered me money. A house in the city. Freedom from you. All I had to do was tell him where Adana took the boy." "What did you say?" She looked at him with hollow eyes. "I told him I'd think about it." "You can't." "Why not?" Her voice rose. "That child ruined my life. My family won't speak to me. My sister's marriage is destroyed. And for what? So you could have a son? He's our son. He's a curse." She was shaking. "And if someone is willing to pay millions for that curse, why shouldn't I take it?" "Because he's a child, Chisom. A 3-year-old boy." "He's not a boy." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "He never was. Boys play. Boys laugh. Boys act like children. That thing was born knowing, born judging, born destroying." She turned to leave. "If Okafor comes back," she said, "I'm telling him where to find Chukwuebuka, and you won't stop me." The door closed. Okonkwo sat in the darkness and finally understood what Adana had meant. Whatever you plant with desperation, you harvest with tears. He'd wanted a son so badly, he'd gotten exactly what he asked for, and now everyone was paying the price. Morning came too fast. Okonkwo didn't sleep, couldn't eat. He had to get to Chukwuebuka before Okafor. He had to protect his son, even if his son had destroyed everything. He packed quickly, told no one, left before sunrise. The journey to Amaudo took 6 hours by bus. When he arrived, Adana's sister Obioma answered the door. Her face hardened when she saw him. "You have some nerve coming here." "I need to see him. I need to see my son." "Your son? Now he's your son." She blocked the doorway. "You threw him away like garbage. Adana told me everything." "Please, there are men coming for him. Dangerous men. They want to use him." Obioma's expression shifted. Fear crept in. What kind of men? "The kind who will pay millions to exploit a child with his gifts. I have to take him somewhere safe." "And where's that? Because wherever you go, Okonkwo, trouble follows." "I know." His voice broke. "But I'm his father, and I failed him once. I won't fail him again." Obioma studied him, then stepped aside. "He's in the back, with Adana." Chukwuebuka was drawing with chalk on the ground. Simple pictures, a house, a tree, a man crying. He looked up when Okonkwo approached. "Hello, Papa." Okonkwo knelt down, tears already falling. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "I know. I should never have sent you away." "You had to. I see why you did it. But I'm your father. I should have protected you." Chukwuebuka put down the chalk and looked at him with those ancient eyes. "Papa, you can't protect me from what I am." Adana emerged from the house. "Okonkwo, what are you doing here?" "There are men coming. Men who want to take him, use him. We have to leave. Now." Her face went pale. "How long do we have?" "I don't know. Maybe hours, maybe less." She grabbed Chukwuebuka's hand. "Then we run." "Where?" "I don't know." Okonkwo's voice cracked. "But anywhere is better than letting them turn him into a weapon," Chukwuebuka finished. "That's what Mr. Okafor wants. He wants to make me a weapon." They stared at the child and realized something terrifying. If Chukwuebuka could see this future, what else could he see? "Papa," the boy said quietly, "running won't work. They'll find me. They always do." "Then what do we do?" Chukwuebuka looked up at his father, and for the first time since he was born, he smiled. Not a knowing smile, not a prophetic smile, just a child smile. "We do something they won't expect." "What do you mean?" Something they won't expect. Chukwuebuka walked to the center of the compound. Mr. Okafor thinks I'm a secret. Something to hide and control. But what if I'm not? Adana's eyes widened. You want to go public. If everyone knows about me, I'm not valuable anymore. I'm just a boy who tells the truth. That's insane, Okonkwo said. They'll never leave you alone. Scientists, journalists, everyone will. Papa. Chukwuebuka's voice was calm. Too calm for a 3-year-old. I've seen both futures. In one, I hide and they haunt me forever. In the other, I speak openly and become something else. What else? The boy smiled sadly. Someone people fear too much to touch. 2 hours later, they sat in Obioma's living room. Adana paced. This is dangerous. If we expose him, we protect him. Okonkwo finished. By making him too visible to kidnap. Or we paint a target on his back. There's already a target, Adana. Okonkwo looked at his son. At least this way, he controls the narrative. A car engine sounded outside. They all froze. Okonkwo moved to the window. It's Okafor. He found us. Already? Adana grabbed Chukwuebuka. Wait. The boy's voice cut through the panic. Let him in. What? Let him in, Papa. I need to talk to him. Okonkwo's hand shook, but he walked to the door and opened it. Mr. Okafor stepped inside, flanked by 2 large men. Chief Okonkwo, I see you came to your senses. Not exactly. Okafor's eyes found Chukwuebuka. His smile widened. There you are. Hello, young man. I'm Mr. Chinedu Okafor, age 47. You have 2 wives. The first one doesn't know about. The second, you stole your business partner's idea 3 years ago. He committed suicide last month. You dream about him every night. The room went silent. Okafor's smile vanished. What did you just... Your left pocket has a recording device. You plan to record this conversation and use it to blackmail Chief Okonkwo. But you're also recording yourself without knowing. Your business partner's son hired a private investigator. They know everything. Police will come for you in 9 days. Okafor stumbled backward. How could you possibly... I see. Chukwuebuka's voice was flat. Factual. That's what I do. I see everything. And if you take me, Mr. Okafor, I will see your secrets. All of them. And I will speak them. Loudly. Publicly. Until you have nothing left. The blood drained from Okafor's face. You're bluffing. The woman you call your secretary? Her name is Amara Nwosu. She's 23. You've been trafficking girls from her village for 4 years. She keeps records. She's waiting for the right moment to destroy you. Okafor's bodyguards exchanged glances. One of them stepped back. Boss, is this true? Shut up, Okafor's voice cracked. This child is lying. He's a demon. Call Amara right now, Chukwuebuka said. Ask her about the records. Watch her face when you do. Okafor's hand went to his phone, then stopped. You're too dangerous, he whispered. Yes, Chukwuebuka nodded. That's the point. I'm too dangerous to own, too dangerous to control, too dangerous to touch. Tell your friends. Tell everyone who wants to use me. The boy who sees everything is not for sale. Okafor backed toward the door. You've made a powerful enemy, child. No, Mr. Okafor. You've made one. The man fled. His bodyguards didn't follow immediately. One looked at Chukwuebuka. The thing you said about police coming in 9 days. 8 now. Time moves forward. The bodyguard nodded slowly and left. Adana collapsed into a chair. That was terrifying, Obioma. Finished. That child just threatened a powerful man and won. Okonkwo knelt before his son. How did you know all that about Okafor? I see people, Papa. All of them. Their secrets, their lies, their fears. That's my gift. But it's also my weapon. You can't live like this, threatening everyone who comes near you. I won't have to. Chukwuebuka walked to the window. Word will spread. The boy who knows everything. People will stay away. That's so lonely, Adana whispered. Yes. The boy's voice was small now. Tired, but it's safe. 6 months passed. Word spread exactly as Chukwuebuka predicted. News articles, social media posts, rumors, the child prophet, the boy who sees all. Don't go near him unless your hands are clean. Some called him blessed, others called him cursed, but no one tried to take him. Chief Okonkwo moved to Amaudo permanently. He didn't return to Umoba. His title was given to another chief. Chisom gave birth to a daughter. She stayed in the village, raising the child alone. She never contacted Okonkwo again, and Adana. She stayed with Chukwuebuka, homeschooled him, protected him, taught him that gifts were not curses, even when they felt like one. One evening, Okonkwo sat with his son under a mango tree. Do you hate me? He asked. For bringing you into this world. Chukwuebuka looked up at him. No, Papa. I see why you wanted a son. You wanted legacy, pride, continuation. I got a son, just not the one I imagined. Does that disappoint you? Okonkwo was quiet for a long time. Then he pulled his son close. I wanted a son who would make me proud, who would carry my name, who would be everything I hoped for. He paused. You are none of those things, and somehow you're more. Chukwuebuka rested his head against his father's chest. I see your future, Papa. And you'll be happy. Not the happiness you planned, but real happiness. The kind that comes from accepting what is, instead of mourning what isn't. Okonkwo felt tears on his cheeks. I'm sorry I sent you away. I know. I saw that too. They sat in silence as the sun set. And for the first time since his son was born, Chief Okonkwo felt something he hadn't expected. Peace. Years later, when people asked Chief Okonkwo about his son, he would say, I prayed for a son who would bring me honor. God gave me a son who brought me truth. I wanted easy pride. I got hard wisdom. And I learned that sometimes the greatest blessing is the one that breaks you first, then rebuilds you into someone better. Chukwuebuka grew up quiet, different, powerful in ways that made people uncomfortable. He never married, never had children of his own, but he helped people. Those brave enough to ask, those desperate enough to hear truth even when it hurt. And Chief Okonkwo learned what his father never taught him. Sons are not trophies. They are not extensions of your ego. They are not wish fulfillment. They are human beings with their own gifts, their own burdens, their own paths. And if you're lucky, if you're wise, you don't force them into your dreams. You walk beside them through theirs, even when those dreams look nothing like what you imagined, especially then. 20 years later, a young man came to Chief Okonkwo's compound. Are you Chief Okonkwo, father of Chukwuebuka? I am. I heard your son can see things. I need his help. I'm about to make a terrible mistake, and I need someone to tell me the truth. Okonkwo smiled. Come, I'll take you to him. As they walked, the young man asked, Do you regret it, having a son like that? Okonkwo stopped walking, looked at the sky, and answered honestly. I wanted a son who would make my life easier. I got a son who made my life meaningful. No, I don't regret him, not anymore. They continued walking, and somewhere in the distance, Chukwuebuka already knew they were coming. He always did. If this story changed how you see blessings and curses, smash that like button. Drop a comment. Be careful what you wish for. If this story is different, and subscribe because next week's story, even more powerful. Where are you watching from? Drop your location. Remember, sometimes the answer to your prayer is the lesson you didn't want to learn. See you next time.